Hello, I'm Annika Stanley Smith, Substance Misuse Prevention Coordinator at Granite United Way, filling in this week for Kristen McGrath, and this is Living United in the Granite State, a program focused on the work of Granite United Way in the areas of education, income, and health throughout the state of New Hampshire and our various partnerships and initiatives. For today's show, we will be sharing some updates from each of our 6 regions, including events and volunteer opportunities, and a little later we'll be joined by some special guests in a Q&A session about Granite United Way's Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program, or VITA for short. Granite United Way is a volunteer-led nonprofit organization that seeks and addresses the root causes of key issues in local communities, is accountable for stewardship of resources, and is accountable for short-term and long-term results. Granite United Way covers 80% of New Hampshire, but remains a local presence in each of our 6 regions: Southern, Merrimack County, Central, Northern New Hampshire, North Country, and Upper Valley. Granite United Way started its campaign at the beginning of this September, and our campaign cabinets are off and running in an effort to help us reach our campaign goal this year of $7.9 million. We are excited to announce that we currently have 14 e-pledge campaigns running this year. E-pledge campaigns allow for Granite United Way to create a greener footprint and make the pledging process simpler for your campaign coordinators. Instead of filling out a paper pledge form, you'll file an electric version through Granite United Way's secure database. If your company would like to switch to an e-pledge campaign next year, please contact Kristen McGrath at graniteuw.org. A huge contribution to our campaign every year comes from local businesses that support Granite United Way by hosting a workplace campaign. These businesses ask each of their employees to contribute to the Granite United Way campaign by choosing to donate a percentage of their weekly paycheck. As an incentive to participate, Granite United Way offers some great raffle prizes for those who contribute $3 a week to your workplace campaign. By donating just $156 a year, you will be entered to win these great prizes, including multiple overnight stays at some of the most beautiful inns in New Hampshire, tickets to Celtics or Bruins games, and even a cruise to Bermuda for 2 donated every year by Cruise Travel Outlet in Salem, New Hampshire. If your company doesn't offer a workplace campaign, you can still be entered to win these incentive prizes by giving an individual donation. This can be done online at www.graniteuw.org, or just click the donation button and you'll be prompted to enter your information and your donation amount. Just remember, you must give at least $156 to be entered to win the incentive prizes. If your company does not currently host an employee campaign and you think they would be interested in starting one, please contact Kristen McGrath at kristen.mcgrath@graniteuw.org. Northeast Delta Dental and Lincoln Financial Group presented Granite United Way with the Run United 5K check totaling $1,543 this past Monday. We would like to thank everyone involved with the race and are excited to do it again next year. What a simple and fun way to raise money for the local community. Do you run a nonprofit in one of our 6 regions? Are you looking for some extra funding this year? Consider applying to Granite United Way's qualification and grant funding process. Granite United Way is committed to partnering with local nonprofits to bring initiatives and programs to the local community. If you are interested in learning more about becoming a Granite United Way funded program, contact Jennifer Sabin at jennifer.sabin@graniteuw.org or at 603-224-2595. Are you interested in becoming a first-time donor or increasing our pledge this year? We currently have 4 donation matches right now. These long-term donors hope their matches will recruit first-time or increase gifts. Loyal contributor and Alexis de Tocqueville Society member John Swope has challenged Merrimack County to support the community in a new way. For every new dollar, increased or new pledge, he is willing to match up to a total of $25,000. There are 3 easy ways you can help us meet this match during the 2014 campaign. First, make a new pledge. Second, increase your 2013 pledge amount. Or third, help us engage a new donor this year. Our second challenge comes from a lifelong resident of the North Country who wishes to remain anonymous. They have offered a $10,000 challenge match to increase giving to a community they care deeply about. What a great opportunity to provide even more support to the initiatives and programs that make a difference in the North Country region. Our third match challenge comes from an anonymous Upper Valley resident and Granite United Way supporter who hopes to inspire leadership in Upper Valley donors. They have generously offered to match up to $25,000. Our fourth and newest match challenge donors from the Southern region and is hosted by loyal contributors and Alexis de Tocqueville Society members Mark and Sally Stebbins. For every new or increased pledge, they are willing to match up to a total of $25,000. There are 2 easy ways you can help us meet this match during the 2014 campaign. You can make a new pledge at any level, or you can increase your past pledge amount by at least $100. To be eligible for any of the Granite United Way challenge matches, your new or increased pledge must be made by March 31st, 2015. Match donors will be directed to Granite United Way. To learn more about how to double your gift, contact Jennifer Higgins Petrie at jennifer.petrie@graniteuw.org or at 603-625-6939, extension 116. I'm sure you've heard of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, but have you heard of Giving Tuesday? On Tuesday, December 2nd, 2014, charities, families, businesses, community centers, and students around the world come together for one common purpose: to celebrate generosity and to give. Giving Tuesday is a great opportunity to leverage the challenge matches we just told you about. Give a new gift this year or increase your gift and you will double your donation. Will you be doing your holiday shopping on Amazon.com this year? If so, make sure to purchase items from Amazon Smile. Just visit www.amazonsmile.com and purchase your items from there. Amazon will donate 5% of that purchase to a specified charity. Choose Granite United Way on the drop-down menu and continue shopping. It's that simple. This past Tuesday night, we hosted our Central Region celebration at Church Landing at Mills Falls. It was a night filled with laughs and a few tears as Granite United Way celebrated its work in the Central Region and honored outgoing Senior Vice President Jack Terrell for his work in the community. United Way supporters and friends joined together to honor Jack for his vision and commitment to bringing positive change to the Central Region. He was presented with a framed image from this year's Day of Caring, a citation from Governor Maggie Hassan, and with the 2014 Live United Award. We're going to take a short break for a message from United Way, and when we return, we're going to sit down with Svetlana DeZoglio, a VITA site coordinator in Manchester, Diana Paradise, a volunteer tax preparer, and Cary Gladstone, director of asset building at Granite United Way, to talk about the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program and how you can get involved.
One of the reasons we decided to increase our gift this year was really just to be more philanthropic and show the next generation how important it is to make that investment into the community.
United Way is important on so many levels, from the element of reaching out to employees who have an opportunity to give no matter how small. It puts employees in touch with organizations in need. And then the Community Impact Committee approach to allocating funds is a wonderful way to broaden community involvement by getting regular citizens involved in reviewing grants and making funding decisions.
With United Way, I've always appreciated that there's an opportunity for every company and every employee to get involved. It's nice to see employees go out in the community and be able to influence change in their community because they can give each week or with every payroll that they otherwise may not be able to get into the system.
United Way programs are critical. They were there for me when I really needed them to get new clothes for my first professional job. Now I get to give back to my community, and I volunteer on the United Way Community Impact Board.
The Business Club at Laconia High School Hewitt Technical Center has come together to promote drug awareness in our community.
We'd like to thank the Granite United Way supporters for giving us programs like the Youth Leadership.
and one of the things that I work on every campaign is trying to get the young people in our agency involved, and we've been very successful, and it's so refreshing to see that culture of giving growing within our organization.
One of the greatest things about United Way is that the money is raised locally and it stays local. We distribute that money, and the decisions about the distribution of that money are done at a local level, even though it is a statewide agency.
Thank you very much for supporting our 2014 United Way campaign. 22,000 donors and volunteers are investing in the critical areas of education, income, and health to improve the lives of individuals, families, and communities all across the states of New Hampshire and Vermont. Thank you very much for all that you do.
Join us and support Granite United Way.
Welcome back, and thank you for joining us on Living United in the Granite State. Today's Q&A session will focus on Granite United Way's Volunteer Income Tax Assistant Program and how viewers just like you can get involved. With me today is Svetlana Dezoglio, a VITA site coordinator in Manchester, Diane Paradise, a volunteer tax preparer, and Cary Gladstone, Director of Asset Building at Granite United Way, to talk about the Volunteer Income Tax Assistant Program and how you can get involved. So I'd love to ask you guys about your background with volunteer income tax assistance and how you got introduced to the program. Svetlana, you want to start?
Sure, why not? Well, first of all, I want to mention that I wasn't born here in the U.S. I come from a small country called Moldova, or the Republic of Moldova. I came here in 2007 after my graduation into financial field. After I came here, I started traveling for about 5 years. I traveled around 5 years nationwide. And at some point, I just decided to stop and take my time and think about what I want to do next.
So you put down roots in New Hampshire?
Pretty much. New Hampshire was the first place I arrived, so it's like my hometown.
Yeah.
Second hometown. And
how did you hear about volunteer income tax assistance?
Yeah, so during that time off, I was looking for something related to my degree in the financial field, and one day I just Googled Volunteer New Hampshire, and there was Cary Gladstone of his ad. So I emailed Cary, and I got another email back, and he said, well, just come up and introduce yourself, and I'll give you the instructions and see how it works. So I did so. I went to the site. Cary gave me all the materials, the Volunteer Income Tax Assistant Program materials, and I think I got it really quick. I got into it. I studied. And first week I passed the basic exam. The second week I passed the advanced exam. Now, to volunteer at the VITA site, you need to pass the volunteer. It's called Volunteer Standards of Conduct. and then to be certified in the tax law, you need to pass these exams, and goes from basic to military, basic, intermediate, advanced, intermediate, military, international.
Yeah.
Yeah, I joined the site later on in the season, and to me was challenging to go further into it and see what I can do for the people and the taxpayers and our community. And that's how I got involved with VITA.
Great, that's great. Cary, so Svetlana mentioned your name, and you're the Director of Asset Building for Granite United Way. So how does the Director of Asset Building get involved with volunteer income tax assistance?
So I'm a member of the staff of Granite United Way, and we oversee VITA, volunteer income tax assistance sites throughout New Hampshire all the way up to the Upper Valley of Vermont. And so we are trying to reach out to lower income working people in particular, not making a lot of money, but who may have a need to file a tax return and get confused by the complexities of tax law. So to be able to have folks come in the door, we can assist them with meeting this federal filing requirement, and it also opens the opportunity for a conversation about their other financial questions, and to refer them to some of the partners that we work with who can assist them with everything from better understanding how to manage their money, to maybe looking at first-time home ownership, to financing college for themselves to go back to school or for their children. So it fits perfectly, meeting that federal requirement as a starting point, because once you have the tax return in front of you, now you know exactly what the financial situation is and can ask some good questions and give some advice from there.
Excellent. And as someone who's used VITA and has recognized what a great service it is, and how much time it saves, I can really appreciate what it would take to be a volunteer at VITA. So Diane, why don't you talk about what it's like to be a volunteer there and how to juggle working full-time for a bank and doing this?
Well, it's definitely a time commitment, but I was looking for something I could use my skills in banking and also help people in need. I was also looking for something that didn't have a time commitment that was year-round. I'm usually pretty busy in the summer, so this fit well into my schedule. With you get your certifications starting in November, December. There's some classroom sessions you can attend. And then towards the middle end of January is when it really picks up. So it's usually a couple of nights a week. Saturdays, there's a big need for volunteers. But it was just the commitment fit my schedule very nicely. So I could do my certifications at home or go to the classroom sites and get help there. And then just pick what hours or days I could do it. And then it ends by the time tax season's over in the middle of April. So it really fit well with my schedule.
That's great. So Svetlana, you and Diane both mentioned how you have to be certified, and I understand that's not an easy process. Do you want to talk a little bit about that and how going through that kind of got you into the role that you're in now?
First of all, if you want to become a volunteer, you need to be certified in the volunteer standards of conduct. Second of all,
the standards of conduct are to protect both you and the taxpayer, to make sure that people are behaving in an ethical way, will treat people with their confidentiality, and make sure that their return will be processed according to quality standards set by the IRS.
And I can tell you that knowing that was really a big just a big relief, because I had done taxes by myself before and I had done them incorrectly, and that is the scary part about it, downloading some of those materials is you don't know how safe it is. And when people are certified for this, it's not just one tax preparer looking at it. Am I correct, Cary?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Every return is quality reviewed. So there's someone with more experience who does a review, second set of eyes on every single tax return for that same low price of zero. And I think those are a couple of the points that we want to bring out about what makes VITA different from any other way of doing your taxes. You can do your taxes yourself. There is actually free software available for those folks who can go to myfreetaxes.com. They can not only have access to free software if their income is below a certain level, but they can also have a toll-free number to call where they can have tax questions answered. If they get hung up on a question, they'll actually ring to someone who has the same level of certification as our volunteers at our local VITA sites.
So if you ring, you might be talking to Diane or Svetlana.
Something like that. Yeah. But at the VITA sites, we have someone who will assist with the intake process to make sure we've thoroughly asked all the questions on everything that relates to the tax return, and that an interview is conducted, so we don't take it for granted. So, someone like Diane can work with the taxpayer, go through line by line. What is their income? What expenses do they have that may relate to their taxes? And how do they, have everything in place to make sure they have an accurate and complete tax return?
Great. So we've heard a little bit about the volunteer opportunities for VITA, but how do people who want to get their taxes done get in touch?
Well, 211 New Hampshire is a great partner in a lot of this work. Certainly, that's a phone number that anyone can call, 211, and they can be connected to our site. They can call me directly in the Concord area. My number locally is 603-224-2595, extension 223. Or you can put my email back up on the screen. It's cary.gladstone@graniteuw.org.
So I think one of the concerns people have going in to get their taxes done is for some people it can be a significant amount of money and it can really make or break them. And so why is VITA such a great option for them?
Well, I'll give you 200 reasons, and that's the average cost of going to a commercial tax preparer. People may have seen the commercial, and I won't talk about the name of the provider, but a commercial preparer that has the person standing in front of stacks of cash representing the $1 billion that goes unclaimed. And the IRS does, in fact, estimate that 1 of every 5 people eligible for the Earned Income Tax Credit, a support for lower income working people, don't claim that credit. The implication from this commercial is they can get that for you, but if everyone who did a tax return went to those commercial preparers and paid only the average, they'd spend $29 billion to try to get a share of that $1 billion, where, again, for free, certified volunteers will prepare the return, making sure people get all of the credits, all of the money that they're eligible for, and they get to keep all of it, and we can even help them build savings at tax time.
Yeah.
And I just want to mention that another reason for the taxpayer to go to a volunteer income tax assistance site is because we work face-to-face with them. And any questions, any problems, questions, or something that they don't comprehend, we can answer those questions on the spot or find it for them, look it up. So this is I think a very good point. Why would the taxpayer consult or use a volunteer income tax assistant?
Definitely a good point. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about the type of people that you see that come in? What's one of your greatest experiences?
We really had different kinds of people where levels.
Well, a lot of young families that we see.
A lot of young families, a lot of Bosnians, like different nationalities, and in the Manchester area would be Bosnians. We have a variety, really, of nationalities, and another thing is at some point we had a Kurundi-speaking person, and that person didn't speak good English and didn't understand a lot of things and needed help with translating certain things based on his return. And we had the right person. This person volunteered a few years ago at our site. Actually, in the same year I volunteered the first time in 2012. And his name is Francois. So he didn't volunteer at that point, but he was more than happy to join us and provided very valuable service to us, translate to Kurundi. Who knows Kurundi language really? Is very few people. So we have a lot of good qualities and good things that we can offer to people. And we're making everything fun. People are surprised, actually, right when we say, well, taxes for us is fun. Like, doing taxes is fun. How can taxes be fun? It's like, well, it's fun. We have a great team. Our volunteers are very open. They are doing this because they like it. Nobody's making them. They're not doing it for money. It's just very pleasant. And we have our partners that work with us, like Doorways to Dreams. And they are the ones that actually are making our time worth it and making it fun. They are offering
well, we're giving away $35,000.
Yeah,
oh, wow.
they're giving away thousands of, tens of thousands of dollars.
You want to talk a little bit about that, Cary?
Sure. The Save Your Refund promotion is actually a national promotion. Anyone who's getting a tax refund can participate simply by putting at least $50 into a savings vehicle. So many folks have taken advantage of the direct deposit option and put usually all of their refund into one bank account. But here's a significant amount of money coming to you, and especially if we've saved you the cost of commercial preparation, here's an opportunity to build savings by opening, if you already have a savings account, put a little money into there, or you can even buy a U.S. savings bond. And the Doorways to Dreams Fund is, for the third time, providing a national promotion where anyone who splits their refund that way can be eligible for cash prizes throughout tax season. And so there will be smaller cash prizes throughout tax season, and then at the end of tax season, one grand prize winner will win $25,000, just as a woman from Manchester did at our site 2 years ago. So that has to be my favorite moment in about 10 years of doing taxes through VITA program.
And I recall she didn't want to go to Disneyland, but she wanted to.
First-time home ownership.
Yeah.
Single mom, really trying to pay the bills, and I couldn't have been more happy if I'd won the money myself.
Yeah.
But it was just a very gratifying moment amidst many gratifying moments for the thousands of people whose taxes we can help prepare, help them get all the money that they receive, and keep all of that money, and maybe even build some savings.
That's pretty cool. Diane, do you have anything else you'd like to share?
On that note, as the banker in the group, when you're bringing your information for us to be preparing your taxes, you want to make sure you bring your account numbers. A lot of people just bring an account number, but you want to bring a check or get the routing number for your bank, because when we're finished with your return, if you're getting a refund, it's important we know where we can split it up for you.
So savings account as well.
Yep, savings account, checking account, and you want to have that information, and you want to make sure your name is on the account.
And it can be split how many ways?
3 ways.
3 ways.
Yep.
What other materials do people need to bring when they get their taxes done?
They need to bring a photo ID and a Social Security card for each member of their family or whoever they're listing as dependents. And pretty much anything you get in the mail that says it's a tax document or important. So many things come in now looking like junk mail. So what I usually do myself is I have a folder or an envelope that says 2014, 2015 taxes, whatever year I'm in. And whenever I get something in the mail or make a donation, I just stick that in the envelope. And then when you want to wait until you have everything, just bring that whole envelope in, and we'll help you go through it and determine whether or not we need that. But the ID and the Social Security card are probably the thing that people don't realize they need, which we do need.
It's something I appreciated so much when I went to VITA was that the volunteers are really willing to walk you through this information. Bad mechanics and bad tax preparers won't tell you what's happening. And every step of the way, VITA volunteers are talking to me, and they're telling me why I'm getting this discount or why I can't get that one. And it really makes the experience feel so much more accomplished, and I understand what's going in, where the money's going, what's coming out, and so it really just makes the process so much easier, so much less stress-free. So I applaud you all for continuing this and for volunteering. It really is a great service.
Anyone from any walk of life can participate as well. I mean, we happen to have people with a finance background, but we have at our VITA sites across New Hampshire people including a farmer, we have a fire chief, we have a number of students who are trying to get practical experience. So anyone who's got a computer aptitude and a willingness to learn tax law can become a VITA volunteer.
And it's fun.
All right,
It really is.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you again for all you guys do, and I hopefully, you're gearing up again for tax season.
Thank you.
If you're interested in more information on or volunteering for volunteer income tax assistance, please contact Cary Gladstone at 603-224-2595 extension 223 or at cary.gladstone@graniteuw.org. Thank you for joining us today on Living United in the Granite State. We would like to thank all of our donors and volunteers for helping us make a difference in communities across New Hampshire. Be sure to tune in next month for our show and have a great day, and don't forget, Live United.